Hi friends, welcome back to Matthew Runs for His Life. You may notice I've got this all the time, so the show could basically be brought to you by Contigo. It's one of those things where it's like, they don't sponsor us, but if they wanted to, we wouldn't complain. And why would they send you anything when you've already added the value by endorsing their product? So I get accepted onto the show, and then COVID runs through my family. My daughter thinks it's the greatest thing ever. She wakes up every morning bright and ready to go. She gets to watch movies and hang out in bed with mom. My wife described it as being like quarantine with Buddy the Elf.
And then we'll eat a whole roll of Toll House cookie dough as fast as we can, and then, to finish, we'll snuggle.
So regrettably, I've continued to have some lingering symptoms after getting over COVID. I have a bit of a brain fog that can easily degrade into vertigo. Quick moment of vertigo is all it took, and I fell on my tailbone and hit the back of my head. And I definitely messed up my tailbone. Cool. I'm going into this thing damaged. We're going to work out 6 days a week on a messed up tailbone. But nonetheless, I made a commitment. I'm going to see it through. If not now, when? I'm faced with a really unique opportunity to do it. So I'm gonna do it. I have to. So we get to the actual weigh-in, and I weigh in at 302.5, my official starting weight for the show. Let's go ahead and take a look at our first few bumper stickers for the week.
Run your race. Success is the sum of small efforts repeated day in and day out. When you feel like quitting, think about why you started.
How are we losing the weight? We are tapping into the ancient secret Chinese method of nutrition and exercise. I know, right? I am going to eat in a manner that creates a calorie deficit. And actually, it's really important as I do that, that I'm consuming a certain number of calories and that I'm getting a certain balance to my nutrition. If your nutrition is off and you just create an insane calorie deficit and you lose a lot of weight really fast because of it, it can be really bad for you.
Which is so counter the whole point of this journey.
Then we add exercise. The calorie deficit's the bulk of it. The exercise helps, adds to it, builds muscle, it strengthens my heart, strengthens my core, really just makes it so that my whole body is healthier, which is the real goal, right? Some people do really well with the meticulous tracking of every single item they put in their mouths and knowing their calories and balancing their macros. And if that's you, check out a program like MyFitnessPal is really good for doing that tracking. But I'm using a much simpler system where I have containers that are color-coded and I get a certain number of containers for certain types of foods. In every type, there's exceptions because not all foods are created equally, not all calories are created equally, even in the same category. But generally, it's really simple, and it puts me around 1,200 to 1,300 calories consumed daily. So here's what went wrong and what put Matthew in a state of
Rage!
So I have a post-workout supplement that I take after I exercise. It helps me be less achy, feeds some good healthy protein. It just nourishes my body in a way that makes it easier for me to work out more later. Someone in the cast hopped into our group chat and asked, hey, does this count as one of our protein choices? And I hopped on quickly and was like, no, it doesn't. And then I got corrected. It absolutely does. So I'm just finally getting into a groove, and I'm doing it wrong. And even worse, no one told me. I'm furious. I've made a commitment, and I would have done it right if I knew to do it right. I messaged Shane, and I'm like, this is garbage. I can't play a game I don't know the rules to. This is unreasonable. I was beside myself. And then people start checking in the group, and like, yeah, I remember her saying that it absolutely does count. It counts. So I had to ask myself what at the time felt like a difficult question. Which is more likely? Is it more likely that a professional fitness coach forgot to tell all of us something, and other people in the cast knew it because they just imagined that she told them, and I was right and had somehow been wronged because I wasn't told this thing. Or was I completely wrong, and in soaking everything in, I just missed it like a human? And maybe, regardless of which was true, I needed to give her a break. And given the fact that it was obviously my failing, calm down. Breathe.
I may not be there yet, but I'm closer than I was yesterday. Don't complain about your weight if you're doing nothing about it. Start where you are, use what you have, do what you can.
I'm going to sound crazy when I share this with you, but when I started this journey, it was as if a beacon went out into the universe saying, "Danger, there's a fat guy trying not to be. Send him free food. Send him all the free food we can find. All of it." We're talking pizza, Chipotle, a legit shredded pork pig roast. But the one that almost broke me was Chipotle.
Chipotle and I are in a relationship. Like, when I went to a store and had bed service, when I sent in a complaint, I wrote it as a love letter, and they responded with a love letter. Like, Chipotle and I. So today, today was rough. So Jen's husband, Shane, and I run a tabletop game company. We make card games, board games, the like. And we had a live show today to sell games. And we were at the show, and my sister had come out to help. So I was like, "Oh, I'll buy you food." So I hop online, order her Chipotle, thinking, it'll get delivered. We're fine. The delivery stuff gets all messed up, and they end up comping the food. And then we go and pick up the food and drive back. It's fine. No big deal. But yay, free Chipotle. And my sister ate it. This is like a dream, right? Free Chipotle. Then the delivery guy shows up with an order. And he needs to deliver it because that's the only way he gets paid. So he's like, "Here you go." And he heads out. And it's just this bag full of burritos and quesadillas. And there was a bowl, and it was gorgeous. And I enjoyed my celery sticks with hummus.
So that was my week. In a nutshell, getting into the routine, working out, being tempted by food. That's it. Be sure to hit the like below, subscribe if you haven't already, ring the little notification bell if you want to follow along as I post these things, and do be sure to check out the show on Carmen's channel. I will provide a link in the description below, and as always, thanks for coming along. I really appreciate it. We'll see you soon.